How ya doing, everybody? Lone Wolf here with another episode of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 bonus episodes. So before I'd start, I'd like to mention this took way more time than I thought. I wrote a script and used original thoughts and prior knowledge based on what I've seen, heard, and read. This list can be updated and might be in the future. These were just examples as well as what I had available. This was all based on my personal thoughts on who they would have a connection with. And the majority of the time, I was wrong, having to go costume by costume just to get a unique response. Anyway, it would help a lot if you left a like and subscribed, so I can make more of this content like this. Until then, let's just start the video with a fight. Oh, and by the way, I'd like to mention this is a long video, but I'll be cutting it into sections later on. So that way, if I have no idea on what to record, I'll just use this. It'll be in different parts, so that way you don't have to watch the entire video. And if there's a specific person that you want to see, then I'll leave their name and time in the description so that way you can just go to them. I'm starting off with dual ultimates that I like because this basically helps you get them. So dual ultimates are basically tag team techniques between you and a mentor that you've gained 100% affinity with. And as you can see right here, me and me and future Gohan have that, as well as, well, I have it with everybody, but the ones that I'm using right now are my favorite ones. So me and Videl right here. And guys, this is kind of a goodbye as well, because after this I won't really be doing any new Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 episodes. So, this is kind of my way of saying goodbye. So, I hope you guys really enjoy. I'll be giving facts as well, based on the characters, so that way it's not boring. Our first stop. Coming in at 5 feet tall and 99 pounds, we have Goku's oldest friend. Starting at his rival in the original Dragon Ball series, he grew and found a new respect for Goku. After many times sparring and training with each other, their friendship was set. He has died 13 times, the first time off-screen at a very young age. Others are non-canon, some of them are canon, but the last time was erased by Zeno in the Future Trunks timeline. Basically, when Zamasu took over and Zeno erased the timeline, Krillin was in Otherworld, basically, and he could have been wished back to life, but he got erased, so it's basically death after death. Yeah. He was married to Android 18 after saving her, and they had a life, settled down together, and decided it was time to have some noseless babies. In all seriousness, though Krillin doesn't have a nose, he can still smell. There are times when they pull it up that he doesn't have a nose in the original Dragon Ball series, but he is one of Goku's loyal friends and still seen as a rival by Goku at times. Based on the outfit that you wear when you're talking to a mentor, they actually might have special and unique dialogue. So let's go to Krillin's. He talks about turtle school training and world tournaments, Master Roshi. The next one, he talks about how Gohan actually looked up to Piccolo. How it reminded of him when he was little. I mean, you guys can read it yourself. I'm just skimming it along and saying what I think about it. He idolized Piccolo as well, so he has stuff to say about that. Not only that, if you wear, so one of Freiza's soldier's uniforms, he'll actually talk about how it felt to wear it, what it did for him. He's not really sure what it's made out of, and neither is Vegeta, but look, 17's outfit. Oh man, she actually gets mad at you for saying that. General Blue. This is from the original Dragon Ball series, so I won't get mad at you if you don't know it. Don't ask. Okay, Next, we have Tien. At 6 feet and 2 inches and 165 pounds, Tien is Goku's former bully. You see, at the time in the original Dragon Ball series, Goku was very short, almost kid-size. But he was at least 17 at their time of meeting, so Tien underestimated him, outright bullying him. He was seen as a villain, even though he was like everybody else who faced Goku, just teasing him or bullying him for his size. Tien is able to pull off multiple difficult moves as a dedicated martial artist, being able to clone himself, and being one of the first introduced who can fly in the Dragon Ball series. His third eye, which he has inherited from his alien ancestors, can shoot out energy beams. It is also real. It can look around in clothes and everything. Though he may seem like a bad guy, after the realization that his teachings were overdoing things, and a scar from his neck to his chest courtesy of his old master mercenary Tao, he learned what true martial arts was supposed to be. After his rematch with Goku, he quickly became allies. Even though Tien tried to kill him as a kid, Tien may come off as a weird character, but he's one of Goku's greatest allies, and I'm pretty sure Goku wouldn't have it any other way. Wearing certain outfits, Tien likes to talk about shiatsu, how much he's willing to sacrifice and how much he cares. It's kind of nice, and that's what made me want to start this. This one, he's talking about Goku. When he was still a child, he believed that he would still be able to be as strong as he is now. I'm not really sure. I didn't memorize this. So, Yamcha, the World Tournament Finals, it's all that kind of stuff. Everything from their past, even wearing their own outfits. And I couldn't find Krillin's, but wearing their own outfits has them say some unique stuff too. King Piccolo's evil containment wave. Oh man, a lot of this is fun, but you really got to get into it. Now we have Yamcha, 6 feet tall and 150 pounds. He is a desert bandit, but before we continue, this man has an official fusion with Tien called Tiencha, and this fusion has abilities like Dodo Hameha, Tri-Beam Kamehameha, Ultra Tri-Beam, Body Change Block, very specific, Neo Spirit Ball, Ultra Wolf Fang Fist, Wolf Fang Volleyball Fist, Wolf Fang Jackhammer Fist, Wolf Fang Machine Gun Fist, Cyrus Hammer Fist, and Whirlwind Impact Fist. Anyway, he was supposed to be a deadly character whose only fear was talking to girls. But after making friends with Goku and Bulma, they kind of traveled together. He's become a student of Master Roshi's, and after Dragon Ball, though he was on the decline, he still joins in if he thinks he needs to. But he knows how outmatched he is, compared to his enemies and even his friends. But whenever he can, he still makes an effort to show he cares. And, as sleazy and I'll just say it, as weak as he seems, Yamcha's an okay guy at times. Like, he could have teleported like I just did, but, Anyway, moving on. With Yamcha, he has a lot to talk about. He talks about the turtle hermit Roshi. He talks about actually training with him, the world tournament with Tien, and how he got to meet King Kai. He also talks about Dr. Gero, how he almost died because of not being aware of his surroundings. So, there's a lot to take out from what he says. A lot of lore in case you're one of those kinds of people looking for lore in every type of game possible. So, I suggest that you go out there and try to do what I did, because to be honest, I collected most of these from just randomly playing the game, and I thought it would be a good idea. Next is King Piccolo Jr. At 7 feet and 5 inches tall and 255 pounds, this is the son of the ever-infamous King Piccolo. He is a Namekian that has abilities such as a way to regrow limbs and fuse permanently with other Namekians. He can also see other Namekians that are fused. He also started out as Goku's enemy, but after Dragon Ball Z Kai started, when Gohan was taken by Raditz, Piccolo and Goku fought together to stop him. Piccolo used Goku's death as a way to raise Goku's son, Gohan, as an unstoppable killing machine. But Gohan, being half Earthchild, was very fragile. Piccolo continued to train him until the other Saiyans arrived, and even died for him. On Namek, Piccolo fused with a warrior named Nail to stand up to Freiza's men, and fused with Kami, or God, to fight the androids and Cell, leaving the Dragon Balls powerless. As years went on, he became more and more close to Goku, to the point where Chi-Chi banned him from living in the tree next to their house. Piccolo had become a second dad to Gohan, to the point where he babysits Pan, Gohan's daughter, because he wants to, and he even obsessively tries to help Goku do the same, but better. His character arc went from trying to kill Goku to babysitting his granddaughter, and that's kind of fun to see a full revolution like that, don't you think? It's kind of weird, but Piccolo doesn't really talk too much about himself. I have a bunch of stuff for Piccolo, but he doesn't really like to mention most of it. He talks about Goku and Gohan, but nothing about himself. In fact, I had 4 outfits for him, but this is the only one that he answered to. It's kind of weird, but it's also kind of nice. He mentions Gohan a lot. Hey, ever have that older brother syndrome to where your brother fails at taking over the planet so you steal his son? No? Me neither. Now we move on to Raditz, Goku's older brother. He is also the son of Bardock. He was sent to see if Goku had completed his mission in conquering the planet. He was displeased with Goku. Not only did he lose his tail, but he didn't complete his mission, and he has a half-human son. Out of rage, Raditz attacked his brother and his brother's friends. He stole Gohan, but gave Goku a chance of joining him. They fought against each other, but with the help of Piccolo's special beam cannon, they also died together when Goku held him down. To be honest, I would have wanted to see more of Raditz. He would have been a great uncle to Gohan and Goten, I believe, and I kind of want to see how far he would climb. Like, would he reach Super Saiyan God? And, if he reached Super Saiyan God, like, his hair, he has Super Saiyan 3 hair already. It's just weird. It's just one of those passing thought kind of thing. Yeah, man, it's not fun really, but the reason why Goku hasn't brought him back is because his first example of a Saiyan was Raditz. Someone so mean and vile enough to steal his child. And to be honest, I don't blame him, but I really wanted to see more of Raditz, to be honest. It's bittersweet. Moving. Okay, so Raditz likes to talk about his brother in a bad way, and also the Namekian Piccolo that killed him. There's nothing else that he likes to say, and I went through about 50 different outfits just to see and make sure, dealing with stuff on the Freiza Force, on Raditz and Vegeta. Nope. Other than his own armor, there's nothing else. Like this right here, it was just a random coincidence that he said that. He said it a second time right after, so I don't think there's anything special about it. Anyway, moving on. Gohan. Where do I begin? Well, ever since Raditz kidnapped him in order to train him to be a Saiyan, and then Piccolo kidnapped him right after, rescuing him from Raditz to make him a cold-blooded killer. Wait, what's the difference? Anyway, he's been able to use his anger to reach new heights, from helping take down Raditz to surviving the Saiyans and reaching Super Saiyan 2, and finishing Cell, even using all the power that he has, almost dying, just to be a beacon for his father to lock on and use instant transmission so he can travel faster than gods and angels. If that doesn't prove how strong he is, I don't know what will. Wait, he pulled out the freaking Z sword when the one who's supposed to have enough power to do so couldn't. Gohan, you're in for a ride as a kid, but it will be worth it in the long haul. I just gotta say that. Gohan doesn't really talk about anything much except for himself and Piccolo. Everything that he talks about usually draws back to Piccolo, so it's kind of weird, but I mean, he idolizes him, so it's sort of normal, right? Ah, it's Nappa, the bald one who fears Shijitsune. Vegeta's long-term friend and technically his bodyguard. He had an immense show of power his first day on Earth, destroying ships and attacking innocents, taking down the Z-Fighters with ease till Goku arrived. He lost the fight and Vegeta killed him in cold blood for being weak. Nappa, like Raditz, could have been a good godfather to Trunks, maybe a rival to Vegeta, and if he went Super Saiyan 3, would his hair grow back? Or would his mustache just grow for him? By the way, if a full-blooded Saiyan loses his or her hair, it won't grow back. So F in the chat for Nappa. Nappa doesn't really have anything to say except for to Vegeta's battle jacket, so you can tell that he's still salty about dying. Speaking of the prince of all two Saiyans, half that. If we don't count Half-Bloods, when he first arrived on Earth, he was 5 feet and 5 inches tall, 123 pounds. He is very angry all the time and arrogant as well, but he is strong and able to rival and push Goku to his limits. He has been a dependable person since he died on Namek. That's when he understood Goku was truly the only one who could put an end to Freiza. The moment he got back to Earth, his first act of kindness to Goku was to make Gohan bow down to him and declare him his king. Gohan refused and fought him off to the point where Vegeta got serious. I'm serious, guys. Gohan is the GOAT, if you don't think so. Yeah. He almost killed Gohan in the fight until Piccolo stepped in the way. But way to pick a husband, Bulma. You were right there. You were like 10 feet away from where it happened. Such a loving wife. Anyway, he sees Goku as an obstacle whenever they fight. They actually act like kids, trying to take on the strongest, just to prove themselves the better fighter. I'd say Goku is stronger, but Vegeta, not caring if his opponent is okay, and is actually okay with killing his opponent, makes his attacks hurt even more. Like his fighting style is deadlier, but Goku is definitely more powerful. So, like the time where he pulled the hands off of Android 19 by standing on his face. or when Frieza came back in his golden form, and Vegeta, without a word, and barely any sound or music in the background, beat the gold out of him. He is still an all-around nice guy when it comes to his kids, his wife. He cares for his daughter Bulla, hugs Trunks before he tries to finish Boo, or even when he fought the God of Destruction Beerus for the first time when he smacked Bulma, even apologizing for getting Gohan killed during Boo's saga. This man does a lot of stuff and seems evil all the time, but he's a big old softy. Next is the frogman Zarbon. He is one of Frieza's soldiers, his right-hand man. He seems frail, but he packs a punch. Plus, for an alien, he looks so handsome. I can't believe I said that, by the way. In his base form, that Bulma starts flirting with him. Then there's his other form, unavailable in Xenoverse 2 without mods, where he becomes the frogman he really is. He's a lot slower, but much stronger, nearly killing Vegeta without breaking a sweat. Of course, Vegeta was ready and got a Zenkai boost, where after a near-death experience, a Saiyan gets stronger, unlike in the manga where they would have to die first, then come back to get a Zenkai boost. Vegeta killed the Space Toad with a single punch. I bet Frieza was mad to lose Zarbon and Dadoria in the same day by the same person. He didn't have too much to say to me. I didn't have too many outfits, but most he said was something about switching from Frieza to cooler, and also being a part of the Ginyu Force. He doesn't want us to pose. Moving on from him, we have Dadoria, the actual Toad. He is Frieza's aide. He does the dirty work that Zarbon can't, and when he was first shown, he slaughtered many Namekians, only to be stopped by Gohan and Krillin and killed by Vegeta. Dadoria is smarter than he looks, but he lets his anger get the best of him. He was also the one who revealed Frieza killed the Saiyans on planet Tuffle. Planet Plant. No one cares. There isn't too much to him besides what I already said. And other than that, he has a pretty big sadist streak. As said before, Frieza Force members don't really have too much to say other than the cooler and Ginyu stuff, but there wasn't much for Dadoria. Anyway, moving on. Before I even start, this man, this body-snatching, dancing control freak, the body he primarily uses isn't even his own. He says so himself. He loves to pose because it's supposed to show order, and before he switches body, he takes as much damage as possible or even damages himself to speed up the process. He's cocky and overconfident, but he is a formidable foe. He doesn't understand how inner strength works. After stealing Goku's body, he couldn't get it to full power because of his lack of understanding. In Xenoverse 2, though, there are times when he takes Goku's body and is able to transform into Super Saiyan. After Goku trapped him into a frog, he was transported to Earth by the power of the Dragonballs. He spent years there, surviving predators and Earth inhabitants until Frieza attacked again in Super. And he stole the body of Frieza's training dummy, as I like to call him, then being killed instantly by Vegeta after Ginyu attacked Gohan. Ginyu doesn't say too much. I mean, he actually talks about Vegeta's armor, but he doesn't really say, like, anything particular towards Vegeta, if anything. So, moving on past that, he talks about his special armor and cooler squad armor, of course. And next we have Freiza. Well, the short stack himself made the cut. This is the most evil character in the entire series. First, he enslaves the Saiyans, then kills them off. Next, he kills Vegeta and Krillin, causing Goku to turn into a Super Saiyan. He destroys Namek and cuts himself in half by accident, but still tries to kill Goku after he gives him enough energy to leave the destroying planet. He resisted the effects of hell, where the worst people get trapped in a cocoon dangling from a tree, watching fairies and pixies and magical creatures dance for years without being broken and reincarnated. When Gohan spared Frieza's men after he came back, Frieza thought at the time Goku did the same for him on Namek and shot through Gohan's limbs. He destroyed Earth and scared someone in the Tournament of Power by attacking him without killing him, to the point where he threw himself off the ledge, even though his universe was at the very at the verge of being destroyed. He is evil. He doesn't have too much to say, and I'm kind of disappointed he didn't say anything about Bardock's armor, which I did try out. It was just generic flavor text, so, you know, it wasn't anything particular into Bardock, and that really disappointed me. So, you know, let's do a pose for him. Ginyu! And now we have Android 18, Lazuli, a twin from an alternate timeline who is also an android, as well as her brother. Her job is to kill Son Goku, then the Z-Fighters, which her and her brother do until Trunks from the future travels to the past. Instead of Goku dying, Cell follows Trunks after waking up and absorbed her brother Lapis and became Imperfect Cell, or second form Cell. He then absorbed her after Trunks and Vegeta failed to kill him. When Super Saiyan 2 Gohan finally snapped, he hit Cell so hard he spit her out. After Krillin wished for the bombs to be removed from her and her brother, she fell in love with him. I mean, she already had a thing for him, but, like, she fell deeply in love with him, and was next seen with his daughter. She thinks Krillin is an all-around cool guy, and I find that amazing. Though she knows Krillin isn't as strong as Goku, her feelings for him are because he's okay with being himself. And I love that. She ridicules you for wearing the same clothes as her, and laments to actually missing her brother just a bit. But moving on, we have Perfect Cell. Okay. After traveling back in time with another version of Trunks and killing him, he went on to level entire cities. He is the combination of Goku and friends, as well as Freiza and King Cold, that's Frieza's father, absorbing Android 17, gaining even more power, turning into Imperfect Cell, enough to take down Android 16, Vegeta, and Trunks. Then going on to absorb Android 18, soon hosting the Cell games, where he took down Hercule, then almost died by Goku's Kamehameha, until he used Piccolo cells to regenerate a new body. He fought Goku off and killed Goku and himself at the same time by threatening to blow himself up. When he came back, he was stronger than before, thanks to his Saiyan cells. He became perfect, and was able to make Cell Juniors. He died after Gohan and his Kamehameha collided, and Goku helped Gohan boost the power from Otherworld. Cell's pretty cocky in this game. Like, I can see why. He's pretty strong and everything, but his talk is off-putting when you get his health down just the right amount, and he's still talking trash. I mean, anyone who can do that, I commend them. I'm going to keep talking through this one because I don't feel like fast-forwarding it. The only thing I can get him to react to was his own outfit, which I won by accident, but, you know, it was kind of funny seeing his reaction. But next we have Slug. Lord Slug is an old Namekian, the brother of Grand Elder Guru. He is taller than most Namekians, and he used the Dragonballs to make himself younger and immortal, I believe. I think immortal? I don't remember what he said. I think he said eternal youth. He's one of the few Namekians that know how to transform into a giant. He kills his own kind for fun and doesn't care. He also is a part of the Demon Clan. In the game, he is an ally to Turles, who we'll be getting into later. They both seem to think they have say over the other, and both eat fruit from the Tree of Might, which destroys a planet just to make one. He is super twisted but incredibly smart at times. And even though he's tried to take over, I can see some of his plans working, and, you know, I'm just glad that he's not canon. I have Slug's outfit, but it's on another CAC of mine. I didn't feel like unequipping it just to equip it later on. But he talks about how he remembers Gohan. I think he remembers Piccolo and also Goku. But now we have Majin Buu, an ancient evil sealed away a long time ago, used by Bippity and Bobbity. Boo is indestructible and has almost limitless energy. He loves candy and even turns people into candy with his antenna. He became more aware of his actions, and all the evil fled from his body, and became Evil Boo. Majin Buu and Evil Boo fought off until Evil Boo turned Majin Buu into candy and ate him. Becoming stronger, Super Boo, he then went on to fight Piccolo and Gotanks, until Ultimate Gohan arrived and beat the sense out of him. I mean, seriously, if you watch it, it looks like he's fighting a chibi. His head turns huge from how surprised he is. Um, yeah. Super Boo absorbed Gohan when he wasn't paying attention, Piccolo, and Trunks and Goten when they unfused, as well as Vegeta, who split up inside of him to release everyone, turned into and then he turned into Kid Buu, his original form. In absorbing South Kai, he became a pure Majin Kid Buu. Majin Buu and Kid Buu were separated, and Majin Buu went on to live with Hercule, while Kid Buu was reincarnated into Oob, something that we see at the end of Dragonball Z Kai, but is never really brought up again until GT, which is non-canon, so say what you will, especially considering Oob is actually in the game, and there are voice files for him as well. There were only two outfits that I could get Boo to talk about, and that was Hercule, his best friend in the entire world, and a familiar one, Oobs. Oob is just Boo backwards if you didn't understand. Oh boy, wow. So, Hercule, father of Videl, grandfather of Pan, father-in-law of Gohan, and self-proclaimed hero of the world. Where do I begin with this one? So, sometime between Namek and the androids and the Cell games, Mr. Hercule Satan rose to fame in a martial arts tournament. During the Cell games, he tried to compete but found himself outmatched by Cell and decided to hide. He took credit for killing Cell, even took credit for fighting Berrus off. And he is close friends with Boo, and he's close to his granddaughter Pan. He knows when he can't help, but he knows that if he doesn't try, nothing will get done. He even once bribed 18 into taking a fall during a tournament, so he can add so we can add incredibly rich to the list as well. He doesn't understand why Gohan doesn't try to make money off the Great Saiyaman, but he's okay whenever Gohan turns him down. He reacts a lot to certain costumes, but mostly to his own. Next we have Videl and Gohan. These two lovebirds met in high school after the hero the Golden Warrior and the Great Saiyaman, Videl outright disliking Gohan for no reason. When she found out he was a Great Saiyaman, she blackmailed him and forced him to train her. She was skeptical until Goten started flying and shooting energy out of his hand, and she learned to do the same. She even cut her hair because he told her to, because it would help her in the tournament. The more time they spent together, the more she grew to love him, even more so after she found out Gohan was actually the one who killed Cell. I'm focused more on Videl since Kid Gohan was an actual thing, so we went over her story more than the rest of what happened to Gohan. But yeah, he became the Great Saiyaman and the Golden Warrior after the Cell games where his father decided that he would stay dead because it would be better for everybody. They react to the Great Saiyaman 2 costume, Videl's outfit, Gohan's high school outfit, and Hercule's clothes, as well as a blast from the past. I believe it's called Gohan's Q pack from when he was smaller. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for the showstopper himself, Gotanks. During the Buu saga, everyone was faced with a difficult choice: die or put their hands in the face of two little boys. What's the difference? Anyway, the son of Goku, Goten, and the son of Vegeta, Trunks. While Buu was off killing cities, these boys must dance to save the world. When they get it right, they face again Super Buu, but can't finish him off. These two fuse in dire situations and can only do it for about 30 minutes. If they get a single thing wrong, they either become fat or old. Plus, they have to have the same power level or it won't work. So if one of them is stronger than the other, then it will not actually go through. Also, the outfit that they're wearing is called the Metamoron outfit set. So every time that you see, somebody who fused that way, it's called a Metamoron. The only ones I could get them to react to were Hercules and the Great Saiyamans. I have a Metamoron outfit, but I'm not, once again I said, I'm not going to a different CAC just to get it. So, continuing on, we have Turles. This character isn't canon, but his story is that he's a space pirate Saiyan. He states him and Goku look alike because all lower class Saiyans look alike. But this is filler. To be honest, if that's what he says, I can believe that. Bardock was a lower class Saiyan, Goku was a lower class Saiyan, Goten can be seen as a lower class Saiyan. It's not my call though, so we continue. His goal was to use Earth as a way to grow seeds from the fruit of the Tree of Might. As I've stated before, they take the life force of an entire planet in order to grow. With such power, the one who eats them gains more speed, strength, and overall power. His partner in the game is Lord Slug. Though they've never met outside of the game as far as I know, these two hold devastating power and are a force to be reckoned with. Mira and Towa tainted their fruits from the Tree of Might in order to have control over them and to grow their power even more. In the end, their power wasn't enough, and they were taken down by both your player and Trunks, never to be seen again other than here. Which gives me some weird ideas about what this place actually is, because if Turles and Slug are dead, and they were enemies, so I don't see why we would accept them here. Turles and Slug are dead, and they're here in freaking Canton City, or I think that's what it's called. I haven't seen. I don't know, but does that mean that everybody here comes here right before so like the moment before they die, they get taken out of it because their bodies disappeared? So are these two technically dead? Because like, if you actually listen to the dialogue that some characters actually use when they're talking about outfits, they're just like, oh, we used to wear that even though they're wearing it now. The legendary Super Saiyan himself, but don't forget, he's not a monster, he is the devil, as he says. As of this version, his first appearance, we can see him as a baby next to Goku. As an infant, Goku cried, disturbing Broly. One day King Vegeta III realized his true power and how it was a threat for anyone to handle. So he tried to kill the baby, but his father tried to stop them, so they exiled him and his father. But on that day, Freiza attacked and destroyed the planet. Broly shielded himself and his father in his energy and brought them to another planet where his father, Paragus, trained him. One day, Broly destroyed the South Galaxy and King Kai instructed Goku to find out who it was. His power shook everyone, leaving Vegeta afraid, and in the end, everyone had to give up their energy. So Piccolo, Vegeta, and Gohan gave all their energy to Goku just so they can finish him off with a Kamehameha. If you want the canon version, you have to watch the movie yourself. I'm not spoiling for you. The only piece of armor I could get him to talk about, even though I had Goku's clothing, was his own. So, moving on past him, we have Berrus, the god of destruction. You know, if you try to abbreviate god of destruction, it still spells God. For Universe 7, when he woke up from his long nap, he got a vision of a great fighter. This piqued his interest, so he went and found who he thought it was, on King Kai's planet. He found Goku, the Saiyan from Earth. During their fight, Goku understood he was outmatched, so he transformed into Super Saiyan 1. Then he needed a boost, so he transformed again into Super Saiyan 2. So close, but he couldn't stand to the god's power, so transforming into Super Saiyan 3. This caused Berrus to understand this was the fighter he was thinking, but he wasn't strong enough to face him yet. So he made his way to Earth. For cuisine, I believe. I don't really remember. He found Vegeta, who was celebrating his wife's birthday. Vegeta, remembering his power he once saw used against his father and him as a child. So Vegeta does everything he can to make sure Berrus is happy, until Boo got greedy and ate all the pudding, and mocked Berrus with it. They fought and Berrus won. And then Bulma complained and slapped Berrus and yelled at Berrus. So Berrus slapped her straight across the face. Vegeta, in a rage, fought Berrus. When he lost, Berrus threatened to destroy Earth, and Goku arrived. They asked Shenron, who was a big fan of Berrus, to give them the power they need to actually fight Berrus, and instead he told them a way to actually turn Goku into a god, so that way their fight could take place. And their fight took them everywhere, through cities and caves and space. Berrus grew to like Goku and agreed to help him train with his rivalry. The rivalry with his brother caused them to take people from their universes and fight. Now for another non-canon character. In Dragon Ball Super, she's just a baby, and at the end of Dragon Ball Z, she was a toddler. But in Dragon Ball GT, she was a normal teenager, so take her age with a grain of salt. Only she was more like her mother. She stopped the bank robbery on her date, and also found out that her grandfather got turned into a child by something called Black Star Dragon Balls. So her, Goku, Trunks, who is a teen and a pushover, by the way, and a robot named Gear will travel across the galaxy to find these Black Star Dragon Balls, accidentally bringing back a body-snatching entity called Baby that took over the entire world as revenge for the Saiyans taking over Planet Tuffle. Anyway, he used the body of Vegeta to take over the rest of the world, and Goku learned Super Saiyan 4. They took down Baby, and something happened to the Black Star Dragon Balls that caused the dragons inside, yeah, I know, dragons inside the Dragon Balls, that's kind of weird, dragons inside to be freed. Pan and friends went around to stop the poison and pollution they were spreading, but the dragons of note are ones like the 4-star dragon, Nova Shinron, 3-star Eve Shinron, and the 1-star dragon, Omega Shinron. The super elite galactic patrolman Jaco. He is one of Bulma's oldest friends. He came back in Super to warn everyone that Freiza is returning, but people thought it was weird how similar he looked to Freiza. And he came back when he let a galactic entity that could destroy worlds on the loose out. He is overconfident, but kind of weak. He loves to boast about how strong he is and capable he is, but when it comes down to it, I've only seen him take out a few people and launch a giant laser at the Great Saiyaman. So, you know. Anyway, his moves are good in Xenoverse 2, but I'm not sure I'm a big fan of his boasting. He's kind of surprising, to be honest. Like, he's so him. He doesn't even fly normally, but he's still able to do a lot of damage if you really think about it. He doesn't really react as much, except for what I have for Berrus, I believe. He asked for a selfie, so I gave him one. Next, the Saiyan raised on Earth. His father Bardock and mother Janae. He was supposed to take over Earth, but he hit his head as a child. An old man by the name of Grandpa Gohan found and raised him. He learned to fight and trained with Krillin, Master Roshi. and Yamcha. He traveled with Bulma to find the Dragon Balls. He got engaged with Chi-Chi as children and married during a tournament. He fought back the Red Ribbon Army. He killed King Piccolo, and Chi-Chi and him had a child by the name of Gohan, who was kidnapped by his brother Raditz. He died with Raditz, and his son was trained by Piccolo Jr. He fought back Nappa and then Vegeta. He pushed his limits with Kaioken times 20. He trained for days to weeks while getting the Namek. He took down Raccoon, then was faster than Berrus. He got his body back from Ginyu and trapped Ginyu in a frog. He fought back Freiza, witnessed the death of his longest friend Krillin, and learned how to become a Super Saiyan. He took Freiza down and survived Namek being destroyed, and learned instant transmission. He survived a heart virus. He took down Cell and saved everyone from blowing up. He inspired Gohan to keep pushing past his limits. He took down Boo and fought off Berrus and learned Super Saiyan God. He saved the world and killed Freiza. He survived the Tournament of Power and learned Autonomous Ultra Instinct. He fought off Broly and might go on to train him. He is here, he is everywhere. He's going to fight. A fight will happen with the Saiyan from Earth, Goku. He is your hero and mine. We all love to see him and how much he grows. Sorry about that, I got a little too into it. Right now we're at Whis. As God of Destruction's aide, he is actually stronger than Berrus, and at times, his serious nature and appearance can be off-putting when food is involved. He loves food so much that it's a distraction, but he loves what he does, and he trained Goku and Vegeta to the point where their limits will never be reached again. Because of his training, Vegeta became a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Evolved, and Goku was able to reach Autonomous Ultra Instinct and master it within the last 2 minutes of the Tournament of Power. He's pretty overconfident, but once you see him fight, you'll understand why. Also, this man can turn back time. That's even a mission. If you fight Berrus before him, he turns back time over and over again till you take Whis down. Instead, he's a chill guy. When it comes to eating, he would give both Goku and Berrus a run for their money. Cooler first came on the scene to get revenge for his brother's death, and his father as well, who was recently killed by the Z-Fighters. Him and his men took down Goku and friends until Goku used Kamehameha to blast him into space. Then the Big Getty Star found him and rebuilt him. He used the Big Getty Star to make clones and take over Namek. The Z-Fighters arrived and saw the Metal Cooler clone. Goku and Vegeta took him down, while everyone else was captured. Thousands more arrived. He used up all their energy to power up the Big Getty Star, and they overcharged it, causing it to blow up. Cooler had used what he had to make a giant body for himself to fight off the Saiyans. They defeated him, and that was the last we heard of him. Freiza has mentioned him, but always insults him, so let's just move on. The son of Dr. Gero and Android 21. Android 16 was rebuilt after an explosion in one of the Red Ribbon Army bases. He was one of Gero's pet projects for so many years, but Android 17 killed Gero before he could see it through. Android 16 is different from Android 17 and 18 because he's fully robotic, and Gero hated him for it. He traveled with the two androids until Cell of Zor 17 broke apart his skull, and he went on to be rebuilt and reprogrammed by Bulma. She took the bomb out of him without him knowing, so he tried to use it against Cell in a final effort. It failed. Cell destroyed his body, but his head was still okay. Hercule threw him to Gohan. When Cell killed him, that made Gohan snap and fueled his Super Saiyan 2 transformation. I feel bad for him and Gero. It always hurts to lose someone. It hurts more to have a reminder. It must have killed Gero inside, working day and night on something that he knew wouldn't be the same. It was an unhealthy relationship, and thinking about it too hard will still make me cry if I'm being honest. The androids were woken up. Android 17 and 18 attacked everyone. No one could stop them because Goku died from a heart disease. Krillin, Piccolo, Vegeta, Tien, Yamcha, Chiaotzu, and anyone else who stood up to them died. Gohan lived on the run, fighting back the androids till he was a full adult. Trunks grew to respect and idolize Gohan just like he did Piccolo, so Gohan decided to train him. Android 17 fought Gohan. He lost his arm in that fight, but Trunks, still wanting to fight, begged Gohan to train him. But the androids attacked again. Gohan knocked out Trunks so he wouldn't get hurt. He died fighting off the androids, but taught Trunks what strength meant. From then on out, Trunks learned how to turn Super Saiyan, and he went back in time He stopped the androids, but he was never able to bring back Gohan, and I feel bad. If you talk to Gohan with Trunks' outfit on, I think that's the only thing that he responds to. He says he feels proud, even though he doesn't know why. The father of Kakarot, or Goku as we know him. He sent Goku away out of fear because Freiza. He knew that his son would be okay, and that if he was wrong, that him and his wife Ginyu could go back for him. He was right, though. In the original version, it was a vision after a fight that Freiza would attack. In the movie, it was because all the Saiyans got called back to Vegeta, because Freiza wanted to tell them something. In the end, all of his friends died, and he tried to fight off Freiza, but he died, seeing a vision of his son fighting Freiza, and he was at peace with his decision to send him away. A different version had Bardock sent back in time, where planet Tuffle was still inhabited by lesser life forms. He had become a Super Saiyan while defending the inhabitants from Frieza's grandfather. Take that with a grain of salt, because I'm pretty sure he died, and it's not canon, but it still paved the way for all of this to happen by sending away Goku.